loving us God. Thank you so much for Jesus. Amen. You may be seated. First, we're going to have our introduction of candidates for the mayoral election. We have three: P.J. Doyle, Tim Kent, and Jeff Olson. We're going to go in that order. I mean, I put this in alphabetical order by last name, so don't think I'm trying to be, move around and say, hey, I want him, I want him. It's not that. This is the easiest way for me to do it. So first, we're going to have P.J. Doyle come up and speak, and then Tim Kent will follow with Jeff Olson following. Each speaker for the mayoral election will have up to 10 minutes. We will, at the very end, not after theirs, but at the end, have a time for question and answer. So first, Mr. P.J. Doyle. Should have given you heads up. No, sorry.
Good evening. Thank you for the invite. My name's P.J. Doyle. I cannot tell you what it means to me to be here as a candidate for mayor in Albany. Town has always been my home. Born here, raised here, went to school here. And over the last 25 years, I've worked as a school resource officer, police officer, and East Coast constable. Through it all, my mission has been clear: to protect, serve, and strengthen the city. And I'm excited to take the commitment further. I'm running for mayor because I love this town, its people, its potential. To me, leadership is about working together to make New Albany best it can be. Why I'm running. New Albany has faced several challenges over the last decade. We've lost over 900 residents in the last decade. That's taxpayers. We need to try to keep the young families here. But I don't see that as a defeat, also losing them 900. I see it as an opportunity. I believe we can make New Albany a place where people want to stay, work, raise their families. We have something everything needs to succeed. Hardworking citizens, beautiful spaces, strong community spirit. But to move forward, we have to take action. Here's how we can make our city even stronger and more united. Expanding economic growth, opportunities. We need to attract new businesses, keep the existing ones, get the existing businesses. As you know, local economy is our backbone, is the backbone of all economy. A strong community economy means more jobs, opportunities, and a brighter future for the families. And I know I can't do this alone. We have smart, innovative people in the community who can help drive this growth. It's my role to connect these people and move forward. Improving infrastructure, from fixing potholes to expanding broadband, we must prioritize making the city's infrastructure modern, safe, and reliable. Our city's work to do an excellent job. Our city workers do an excellent job, but need more support and equipment to keep working effectively. As mayor, I'll ensure they have what they need to continue serving our community. I'm for the city worker. I am a city worker. So I'm going to support them the best I can. Supporting affordable housing in certain areas. New Albany should be a place where young families can afford to live and build out their futures. I'll work with developers and community leaders to create housing opportunities that attract and retain residents. Again, this is about bringing together those who can, with skills and vision to make this happen. Invested in our community and recreation. We've made great progress in the great transformation of the playground area at the park. Beautiful murals right in our town. But we're not stopping there. We need to keep investing in parks, youth programs, and family-friendly events to keep our city vibrant. This is something I've heard from many of you. We need to retain young people and attract new families to our town. It's just nothing for families to do as young families and children. As mayor, I'll encourage collaboration and provide the support needed to bring these ideas to life. But this is near and dear to my heart, strengthening public safety. With any town, public safety is a big deal. You're not going to come here if you don't feel safe. With over 25 years in law enforcement, I understand the importance of supporting first responders, and I make our police, fire, and emergency personnel have resources they need to keep New Albany safe. But keeping our community safe is something we often do. Since the recent storms, many of you have come to us about storm shelters. We have looked in dome technology and thought about maybe having that as a recreation area or something like that. But we can certainly try to get smaller storm shelters in each ward that can house just a few people. But that's something that we really need to work on. Addressing your concerns throughout this campaign, I have been listening. Many of you have shared the need for more mental health. As a police officer over 25 years, mental issues is second to drugs. I've seen firsthand one need for all first responders to be trained in CIT training, crisis intervention training, to recognize mental health crises, de-escalate situations, and connect people with resources they need. That's a new program that we got started at the police department's really nice. It helps. You also told me about the need for safe, fun activities for our children and young, improving city services like garbage collection and recycling, and addressing emergency vehicle access issues caused by the railroad dividing our town. That's been a fight for years now. Somehow maybe we could find something to try to get across the tracks on the other side, on the west side. I believe we ought to have hardworking, intelligent people in our community who can come up with solutions. My role is to empower them, bring them together, and help them get the resources they need to make solutions a reality. We'll explore developing the Tanglefoot Trail, the areas around the Tanglefoot Trail, to enhance outdoor recreation, and we'll look into establishing a farmers market or public market to support local vendors. I'm also excited to support the Boys and Girls Club in their efforts to provide after-school programs and mentorship for our young people. Additionally, I've heard concerns about traffic issues on Highway 30. If a roundabout or light is the most effective solution, then we'll work to make it happen. Work with the state. They got I get state maintained, so we got to work with them to try to find a solution there. There's been a lot of property damage over there, and I know of one fatality that's happened over that area. And also, I'm not a career politician. I'm a public servant. My door is always open. Your concerns, ideas, feedback matter to me. I want to be the kind of mayor who listens, understands, and works tirelessly to ensure community in a way that benefits us all. Together, let's build a stronger New Albany. This campaign is about all of us, our families, our businesses, and our future. I truly believe that the right leadership and a shared vision, we can build New Albany that's fair and kind to you. And also, I just want you to know I have nothing against the men that I'm running against. Tim has always been a mentor of mine. I just want my term, and my time's running out. So, thank you.
Next, we'll have Mr. Jim Kent.
Well, I just want to start off by saying thank you to Republican women for having this. I've helped with some of these things before, and this is not easy to do. It's a lot of getting people together. But thank y'all. And it's just good to know people are still interested. But, you know, I spoke at the Kiwanis Club a couple of weeks ago. I think Sue said, keep your bio brief. Well, mine's very brief. I've been mayor for 20 years. 11 years before that, I was with the police department. 10 years before that, I was with Liberty National Insurance Company. So I am the son of Billy and Johnny Kent. My wife's name, Shirley Spence Kent. And my oldest son is Austin. And he's got two grandsons, he and his wife, Katie. Kevin's my middle son. He does travel nursing, so we don't see him much. And Chris, my daughter, who just walked in, is the third, and she's a widow, Brad. So, and she's got two of our grandchildren. So we have 4 grandchildren. And I've been asked, why you want to run again? My reason is, when I look at those grandkids, and I think back over the last 20 years, I want us to continue to have a progressive city and keep our conservative values. And that's my goal. It has been since I started. I said when I started that I'd like for our kids that want to come back home to be able to come back. If they just finish high school and want to start to work, we have a place for them. Or if they go to college and get a special degree, we have a place close. So, here's the thing that matters to me, and I've lived here all my life, is our future, kids and grandkids. And we started off about 20 years ago when I started. Toyota was not my idea, so I don't want you to get that. But at that time, we didn't have any idea who was going to build out there. Three Rivers kind of lit it up as a regional concept. So, but I've taken a lot of trips with them to Jackson and Washington, D.C., try to recruit someone. What we're trying to do is get the money to buy that land out there. And we wound up eventually, everybody said, well, it's a good idea, but we're not giving you money. So the three counties went together and borrowed $10 million each, to be honest with you. So, and I voted for it. And I told Randy Kelly one time, he's the director of Three Rivers, I said, those supervisors really stepped up and voted for this. He said, they stepped up. He said, what if we can't get anybody out there and you voted on $30 million worth of turkey hunting ground or something? So I said, well, get out there and market that stuff then. But we were lucky enough and fortunate enough to have Toyota come in, created 2,000 jobs. And then we have two here, tier 2 or tier 3 suppliers to them. And of course, Johnny will know a lot more about that than I will, but that has created several thousand jobs in this community. And I was just going back and looking, probably since I've been mayor, we've had 35 new businesses come in. A lot of them made it, some didn't. And we've had 4 new industries here in the city of New Albany come in. So that was our goal to start with. But then we got the Tallahatchie Trail. Now, that wasn't my idea either, but when I came in, it had been 3 years. You can rail bank it every 3 years. And it's what they call rail banking. You have to rail bank it to the federal government. So it was running out. So I called the mayor of Pontotoc at that time. I said, let's do this again. He said, no, I'm not going to mess with this. It's been 3 years. It just nothing going to happen. And I kind of started trying to shame him into it. I said, come on, man, let's just do it once. He said, I'm not going to do it, so you can do it. So I called Bobby Carter, who was our city attorney then. I said, Bobby, can I rail bank this from here to Houston? He said, if you don't take what's coming, you can't. So there was I did get a lot of heat because of that, but we did save it. The board then, and I voted to build the trailhead down there. And it's been a very successful place for businesses. And I look across a lot of times and just see, I see a lot of people just eating lunch out there on the trailhead. But last couple of days, been a lot of bikers, of course. But we have been voted the best southern small town in the South by USA Today since I've been here. And Mississippi Magazine voted us top 10 in Mississippi, of our size town. Some of the things we've done is revitalize the sportsplex and built new tennis and soccer fields. We have built a light, gas, and water building and a new police department in the last couple of years. And we remodeled the old police department. So Chris Brown, who's our public service commissioner, is now over there. He told me when he came by, he said, if I get elected, I'm coming to New Albany. I thought that's just political talk. But he got elected and he called me and said, I'm coming to New Albany and I want to be at that old police department. So that has been remodeled. And now we get $4,400 a month from the state for Chris's office. But, we got new tennis and soccer facilities. We'd like to expand on that. We got a downtown sidewalk project coming up, and it's for pedestrian upgrades too. That's just kind of make our city more walkable. We have a downtown second to none here, and not because of what I've done, but because of a lot of people in this city have done. And Main Street kind of heads all that up. got a museum. So I've had mayors come in to me, come by other mayors from other towns say, man, you just know how lucky y'all are to have a museum like that. Yeah, I do too. I know we got one of the best. We are working on north and south connectivity plans for the city. But the railroad, as PJ said, is an obstacle, has been for 100 years. It may be forever, but we've got plans to connect north and south to downtown. And that's mostly going to be the sidewalks. Now, we checked on the overpass out there in Glenfield, kind of going over the railroad, but at that time it was almost $40 million, and that was several years ago. So we didn't know where we'd get that without going up on taxes. And that's one thing we have. The city of New Albany probably got the lowest tax rate in the state. We had 11 mills, and I don't know of any other city that has only 11 mil tax rate. And you know, that's what, as a board and myself, try to do, get all we can out of the millage rate that we get. Let's see, we got a railroad revitalization project just right behind City Hall and across the railroad that we're working on grants. We've got part of grants to do a study, but we do have that in the works. The parking on the river, if y'all been there, you know your kids can't play there right now, but it's all the equipment's gone. It is out the sportsplex. And Jason has done a great job of relocating it. But we did get $2.2 million grant for that for the study. But we are going to take it further and do arboretums and trails on down Carter Avenue. And I'd also like to, and I've been wanting to do this since I got elected mayor, do something with this river. Now, many cities have a river running through town. And it's hard to take advantage of, because when I first started as mayor, I called and the Corps engineer said, don't step on it. But now they kind of have lightened up, and I've met with two Corps of engineers, and they told us, they give us permission to do, if we'd send them a topo map of what we want to do, they would do that. They would look at it and look at it seriously. So my idea is to build some kind of a weir down south of town, maybe around Bratton Road, backwater up 18 inches in downtown New Albany. People can canoe, and then of course, we'll have to clean up the banks. And I got a picture when I was in Colorado, count what they did, and it was really nice. We got a busy, proactive downtown. Thanks to a lot of people in here who's created businesses, and thanks to our board who has voted to keep it that way. I'd just like to end by saying this. We probably got the only downtown our size has 0% vacancy as far as rental income goes. And that's really something to be proud of. Okay, well, thank you for reminding me. And, it's my hometown too. I've grown up here all my life, and I want to continue to work for the citizens of this city. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Mr. Jeff Olson.
Good evening. I want to first start off with Annette and Nancy, also to thank the Union County Republican Women for the opportunity, the invitation to speak tonight. Had a couple of invitations to speak, and first text message is say, you keep it 15 to 20 minutes. Remember when Sue sent me that, and then Nancy sent me that. So I might get that over the 10-minute tonight. But I promise you. I was thinking about it. I said, I've never had someone listen to me for 15 minutes on speak, so you don't have to sweat it. I even talk to myself a good bit. I even answer my questions a good bit, and I get tired of listening to me talk. But this evening, there's three parts to it. What I like to do is kind of give a brief bio of myself, because I see some of you out there that might not know me. Also accomplishments back when I was on the board of Alderman, and then finally just the platform issues that I have for mayor. But first, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, because when you run for something, and I'll say running against Tim, running against PJ, it's difficult. And it's hard to run a local race to keep it from being personal. But I do appreciate Tim, PJ, and their families, clean, and the class act on the campaign. I appreciate that. I'm a product of the New Albany Public School System from first grade, Miss Waddle, through middle school, through W. Daniel. I went to Mississippi State and majored in business and marketing with an emphasis in golf management. Upon graduation, I began my career as an assistant golf professional, even though my golf game was horrible, but at Holiday Golf Club in Olive Branch, Mississippi. It was at that time where I knew that the food service was the path that I wanted to take. After many 6-day work weeks, I knew that the golf shop was behind me, and I knew I needed to chart a different course, which happened to be one of my favorite jobs of all time. I had the opportunity to take a position as business development manager for Baskin-Robbins Ice Cream. It's a job I had for 15 years. I had the privilege of opening over 80 locations during my tenure, developing relationships that I still have to this day. On a side note, working every day in the ice cream business and visiting franchisees, Pralines and Cream and Jamoke and Fudge are not waistline friendly, but it's a temptation I could never pass up. But during that time, my daughter Kristen was born. And also, we found out my late wife, Tracy, she was diagnosed with leukemia. She fought a courageous battle for 9 years before passing away in 2009 at the age of 38. I'm very blessed to have Tracy's legacy, Kristen. She's in the back row, a little late today, but better than never. But I am blessed to have Tracy's legacy from day to day. I love you, Kristen, for that. It was after Tracy, my wife's passing, that I took time away to see what path to take in life. I'd always wanted to open a new restaurant, but it just so happened to me that a friend of mine, Angel Mueller, was in the restaurant business and catering business. I paused my idea of creating my own restaurant concept and decided to take a shot with Angel at Tallahatchie Gourmet. 14 years later, she hadn't kicked me out, and I'm still there. We now have 2 successful restaurants, the other being in Oxford, just off the square. Not only has Angel been my partner in business, but she's also my partner in life. Thank you, Angel, for the journey. I look forward to the future ahead. You've always been there for me, and I appreciate it. I love you dearly for that. I had the privilege to serve as Ward 1 Alderman from 2005 to 2012. During my tenure, I served on the following boards: the Magnolia Civic Center, Beautification, Union County Heritage Museum, the New Albany Sustainability Advisory Committee, as well as city budget and personnel. During my time as Alderman, we experienced many successes, but it was just not myself. Tim was there with me as well. But we had great board, Kevin Dale, many people. I don't want to get into naming every one of them because I'll leave somebody out. But I just would like to highlight a few of the things in the 12 years that I was at Alderman. The opening of the Northeast Community College campus in the historic Northside neighborhood. After years of effort from many people, as Tim alluded to a while ago, the Full Alliance, Three Rivers, CDF, city and county governments, Toyota, Mississippi opened in 2011. I wasn't the brain trust in that. But let me tell you this, to have a ringside seat and watch industrial development from a global level, trying to get it in your backyard, was an experience I'll never forget. B&A Park expansion took place, adding 10 tennis courts and 5 soccer fields, along with upgrades to the baseball and softball fields and the walking and biking paths. In 2013, B&A Bank Tennis Complex was honored nationally as the United States Tennis Association Facility of the Year. The Tanglefoot Trail, a 44-mile walking and biking trail from New Albany to Houston, was completed in 2013 after years of planning. The North Entrance Enhancement Project to the Tanglefoot Trail was completed practically around 2017, along with the removal of the train trestle over Main Street with the arched walkway that solved the problem of the low clearance for years and years with traffic. Instead of scrapping it, we chose to take the train trestle to the museum and use it as an observation platform. The Union County Heritage Museum underwent an expansion that completed with the guidance of Jill Smith, Betsy Hamilton, and the museum board. What amazing asset. If you've never been there, I would suggest strongly go there. And Jill Smith as a director is second to none. Numerous beautification projects around town to enhance the aesthetics of New Albany. The last but certainly not least on that is the New Albany Main Street economic. It is the economic development driver for the downtown. I will say this, in 2005 when I came on board, I was a little skeptical of it, but I'm sold of it. And in 2017, we hired Billie Jean Stroud, and I tell you what, he has done extremely well. As mayor, I know quality of life is a term that you overuse sometimes, but it is a critical thing for people to come to New Albany. We need to invest in the community recreation by building and upgrading our biking and walking paths, our sports field, pickleball, exercise areas to give families safe and enjoyable places. We need to encourage participation, organizing additional sports leagues for seniors and adults, as well as kids. Fitness programs and wellness events that help bring people together and promotes a healthier lifestyle. We need to focus on safety and accessibility. By keeping these spaces well lit, clean, maintained, and accessible, ensures that they are safe and welcoming for all community members. Planned growth and infrastructure. If I'm fortunate enough to win mayor, I look forward to working with Bill Maddox, Johnny Payton, and Chase for strategic placements of our water, our electrical grid, our road repairs, improvements, facilitating ongoing park improvements, and making New Albany a bike-friendly city. I want to be the best supported and resourced fire and police in the state. We can address recruiting and retention by being intentional about our culture. I want to establish a symbiotic relationship between our schools and the city, as we know schools are our number one resource. I want to help facilitate the completion of the Park on the River's new discovery grounds, along with the redevelopment of the Railroad District, bring much requested nightlife to New Albany, and to extend historic Central Business District to give families safe and enjoyable places to stay and be active and spend time together. I want to provide efficient and responsive city government. I want to improve communication and collaboration. I want to update and implement the comprehensive plan, initiate proactive infrastructure improvements, and maximize the city budget through efficient spending and utilization of grant funding. As mayor, I'll be organized, I'll be present, accountable, engaged to actively lead New Albany, to be New Albany's ambassador to the rest of the state and this region. I want to help and facilitate the current projects that are in the pipeline. The New Albany Next, which is our updated comprehensive plan in 2020, and as well as the Tallahatchie River enhancement with the development of the river. Economic growth, I want to be open for business. Obviously, we want to support the local business. We want to support local industry. We want to get people to come to New Albany. We would need to develop residential areas for affordable housing, reviewing regulations, and making it easier for people to develop property for investment. My job every day as mayor is to ensure that our taxpayers get the best return on investment for their money. In conclusion, I've been proud to call New Albany home for 45, 48 years, somewhere in that ballpark. I've been fortunate to have served as Alderman to experience the growth and progress in many areas. I believe our city needs fresh passion and dedication to guide us into the next phase of growth and development. With my background in business management and having served as Alderman, I believe I possess the leadership and professional skills to lead us down this path. On Tuesday, April 1st, I humbly ask for your vote for Mayor of New Albany. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now go to our candidates for Alderman. We will begin with Ward 1 and work our way down. So we have Ward 1, Hart Smith, who is currently serving as Board of Alderman, Ward 1. We're asking him to speak as well. Hart Smith.
Thank y'all so much for having me. It's been an honor to serve as Alderman of Ward 1, and I have the luxury of being unopposed, so it's relatively stress-free right now. Listening to what everybody said, I want to echo what they said. I've been amazed raising my children in this town and seeing the symbiotic relationship between the schools, the library, the museum. This kind of gives me a platform to brag on my my children a little bit, but through the schools, through the museum, through the library, they've gotten way more opportunities than I ever did when I grew up. My daughters have participated in poetry competitions through the museum. One of my other daughters is going to be a major part in a play coming up at the Magnolia Theater. So things like developing the Magnolia Theater, the library, the museum, you may think those things don't matter, but why they matter is that we're creating a place for people like my children to want to come back to. There are so many people outside of government in the private sector who've invested so much into our town. And as y'all have been talking about, we need those people to come back. So just in my generation, you have Chase Jeter pouring himself in the park. Has done a fantastic job with our parks. And I'm excited about those developments. Think about other people that went to school with me. Moses Lemus, putting his money investing in restaurants and downtown businesses. Braxton Coombs, people that could have lived anywhere chose to come here. And we just need to encourage more of those people. Government can't do everything. But what government can do is it can enhance the quality of life to encourage good people to come back and invest in our community. They've talked about many of the things that I want to do already, and I'm glad that they're on board with that, all the mayoral candidates. But the sidewalk improvements, I have a lot of small people, so I have a very small perspective a lot of times. The simplest things I've been the most proud of, simply being able to walk from Nico's to City Hall. It's now handicap accessible, which means for me, stroller accessible. I might be past my stroller days, I don't know. But just that one little thing. I think the first thing I did was, with Johnny Payton's help, building a nice blinking stop sign on South Central, which made it safer for my children and others to cross. So just those little things can enhance a town so much. And I'm so happy to just have a small part in facilitating the development of all those things, because I want as many of my children and as many of my children's friends to come back. And I want them to be the ones to invest in New Albany. It's obviously not the government that can do it. It's all of us. So I appreciate it. Please vote for me if you're in Ward 1. Thank you.
Next we have from Ward 2, Drew Horn.
Thank you, Ms. Annette. I asked her why she wanted to, thought maybe the 3 minutes that Arch and I were allotted could have gone to somebody else that may have needed it, but if Ms. Annette asked, we're going to come running. So thank you again to the Union County Women's Republican Women's Club for doing this. So I'm going to spend my time, try to keep it short and sweet. That way, if anybody else needs to run over, you can have some of my time. Over the last 4 years, when I stood here 4 years ago, I talked about big shoes to fill, and Parks always reminds me, I actually held up my size 15 shoe and said, if anybody can do it, I can. So over the last 4 years, we have reopened the splash pad. No, it's not a slide, but it's accessible for anyone and everyone that wants to go out there, run around, get wet, have a good time, they can. And with the moving the playground that was a park along the river over to being a park, you can do a lot of different things that you weren't able to do before. The park project. I was honored to be a part of cohort 1 of Leadership Union County that Miss Betsy Hamilton led up. And that group of people came up with a project to redo our park that's in downtown New Albany that was built over 30 years ago and just hasn't seen any improvements made. Some were done over time, but so we kind of took that on ourselves to lead up that project. We came up with a music festival to raise money called Parkapalooza. Well, this year, May the 31st, will be our 3rd annual Parkapalooza. And from that group of 16 people, in 2 years, we've raised over $70,000 just at the event. Use that money as matching funds to tag team with some other donors, Toyota, Neef, with the Most Foundation statewide, and secure a $2 million grant. So 1 year in, we already had a third of the money required to do the entire project, a $6.5 million project. And that was written by a private citizen. So working together on things like that have been very important to me, the parks and the theater. We've made numerous infrastructure upgrades to gas, water, sewer, and also our lighting project, LED lights all through downtown, making it safer. We've had noted growth coming out of COVID. Paving, that was something that was big for us. It was tough with the monopoly that some companies have on asphalt. A lot of people don't know that if some are not, if that company doesn't want to turn the asphalt plant on, you can't get asphalt. Bobby Roberts here in town cannot get asphalt if another project's not running. So we did about $1 million last year, and we plan to do the same this year. I've talked already a lot longer than I intended to. So I will yield the rest of my time to anyone who needs it. Thank y'all.
Well, we certainly don't want to rush any of the candidates speaking. I apologize for that, but we just want to make sure that you get out at a good time as well this evening. Next, we have Ward 3, and first up is Mr. Chris Buford.
Good evening. Today is a special day. I mean, today is a day where we can voice our opinions, voice our concerns, voice our voice. But right now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Chris Buford, married for 36 years. I have 2 sons, CJ and Cedric. CJ cuts hair in New Albany. They both went to Ole Miss. Even though I'm not an Ole Miss fan, but hey, that's good. I'm glad they graduate. I've been a member at Reed's Gift for 36 years, over 36 years. My father is Leroy, the late Leroy Buford. My mother is Evelyn Hilliard, and she stays in Blue Springs. I have 6 grandkids. Last time I was here, I had 1. So, but they are working and coming back to New Albany. They stay in New Albany. But right now, I mean, I'm enjoying every bit of it because I got 6 of them calls me Papa. But right now, I work at Cooper Tire right now, and I like to emphasize on working Cooper Tire is a stressful job. But right now, they're allowing me to be able to do this right here. But right now, I have different concerns in our community, in our town, period. There's streets that needs to be paved or resurfaced, even though I was hearing Mr. Doyle talk about surfacing. We have those on North Side. We have those on Central. We have some streets that are too narrow, but we have to address those at given time. There's also, we have recreation that we need to address, put it into perspective that where we have a neighborhood that we have to stay in and we take care of it. I also, I think it was 8 years ago, I kind of put out that where we need to tear old houses down and put new houses. Guess what? That's happening. We're having new houses coming up in our neighborhoods, and it's terrific. But we also still need a little bit more work and a little bit more strive. We need some more fresh ideas for our unit, our whole unit, and our ward. But I think New Albany is a great place. I never want to leave. My kids came back from after graduating. Hey, I'm good. But I am totally ecstatic about this right here. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Kevin Del White.
Good evening, everybody. Tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Kevin Dale White. I'm married to the one Miss Ada White, and she's a mean woman. I'm going to tell you that right there. Okay. But I'm here today to to tell you a little bit about myself. Been married for 30 years. We got 2 sons. We got 6 grandkids. Believe me, they keep us running all over Tennessee. You don't see me in town, most likely chasing grandbabies. But I'm here today to tell you that I'm running for re-election for Alderman Ward 3. I want to totally express my heartfelt gratitude to you, the people of New Albany. Because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be standing here doing my 3rd term, going into my 4th term. It's you, the one that put us in this place. You, the one that makes the difference in what goes on at the city hall, what goes on at our board meeting. I'm here today to give you a few things that what I've accomplished as my 3rd term in office. Over the years, I've had to work to learn the laws of what government is. And once you learn them laws, it opens your eyes to a lot of things. Things you can't do, things you can't say, but you have to learn those laws first. If you don't do that, you put yourself in trouble. And I think New Albany is on the path to being one of the best cities right now. We got so much going on and so many people that's working with us to help us keep New Albany moving forward. I had to work tirelessly, day after day, with our department heads. Y'all know some of our department heads. Like that. Okay? Some of them, they're a handful. But we have to work with them to get things done in our city. Like I say, I don't go out there and do electricity. I don't run police cars. I'm a fireman. So if we don't work good with our department heads, how do we expect for our employees to do better? Working hard enough to do. One thing that we need to work on in our city government is push around and make sure it goes right to support our families. We have problems a lot of times with our people leaving us because of money. One thing that we're going to work on as a new board and a board of Alderman, getting that budget to where we're going to keep our employees. Not only do that, we're going to work on our insurance to keep that rating down. Being safe, that's another big thing of mine. Building a strong relationship that I had to build with the Boys and Girls Club. I'm working with them on numerous projects and everything of what they got going on and helping them bring revenue into the city to help them for our kids. We got to realize that our kids are our future. We don't realize that. We're going back to realize that. Okay, real quick. Couple of accomplishments that I've voted on. I want everybody to know how the marijuana thing came down. I voted no. That's just me. I don't think that we need marijuana in New Albany. That is one of the biggest issues that we have to get with. We got enough people in jailhouses already. And we're going to misuse the drug thing. So that's one thing I think we need to stay on as a city and keep pushing forward with that. Okay? I just want to say thank you. Take this time to say thank you for a lot of the work and accomplishments I've done. I couldn't have done them without you. And I'm going to keep working forward and pushing forward with the old board, new board, whoever it is sitting up there. For 4 more years. January 3rd, go Kevin Dale White. Thank you for your time.
Next, we have Ward 4. We have Ward 4. We have 2, Brandon Panel and Mr. Will Tucker. So first we will have Mr. Brandon Panel. You can come forward.
Good evening. You don't even have to keep the clock. It's going to be real short, I promise you. First, I want to thank the Union County Republican Women for putting this event together. Thank you all for being here. I'd like to personally thank PJ. He gave me the encouragement to actually put myself out there politically, and thank you, PJ, for that. Also like to thank my beautiful family. Only 2 got to come here today. My little boy just was not peopling, and he didn't even want you to look at anything, so he stayed at home. So with that, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Brandon Powell. I proudly served the city for 8 years as a police officer, working my way up to sergeant on patrol. I left the department for many reasons, and some of those reasons are why I'm in here today. When I left, I was making less than $50,000. That is not much to be a first responder whenever you're out protecting everybody, getting shot at, and having to fight on the streets of New Orleans. And it does happen, believe it or not. We were told when we came up, asked for more money, we were told that's what we signed up for. We did not sign up to make a living, I guess, protecting everybody, which we did. We were told we didn't like it, we could go somewhere else. And some of us did. Some of us came back because it's home. I, however, did not come back. Another reason I left was the board decided to take our days away, or our holiday pay. We were getting paid 12-hour holidays, and we only got 8. That's what they decided was fair, was to take 4 hours away from us, and it was fair to us, and not just 8-hour employees. I, however, disagreed with that. We were told also that some of the board members, not saying which one, that they don't believe officers should get paid more than people with bachelor's degrees. I disagree with that. Not many bachelor's degrees that are not law enforcement that I know that go at 3 o'clock in the morning and deal with domestic violences. They get shot at or have to do CPR on a child because they found them in the pool. And yes, we've done that also. But that's enough about that. I'm also running because we need more stuff for the youth. We need a city pool. We need a city rec center. Park and Rec does a wonderful job. Chase and those guys down there are phenomenal. But we just need more. We can put all this together with a grant. There's plenty of grants out there. MDOT does a grant. The actual state representatives, they'll give you money if you just ask for it. It's that simple. We just have to put in the work and do a grant. Also, the crossing at Highway 15, the police officers do a fantastic job, but when I was there's plenty of times that we almost got hit, the children almost get hit. We can get with MDOT and get a grant to put a traffic light out there. I'm sure Chris would love that idea because it puts 3 of his guys back on the road. I guess I did go over a little bit, huh? I'll do this real quick. We need more pay for all city workers. We desperately need storm shelters in place. I'll leave with this. I want a better New Albany for my kids, your kids, and for all of you. Win or lose, I'm grateful I had the chance to speak up for those who can't and for those who have been ignored. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Will Tucker.
Thank you, Ms. Annette, and Union County Republican Women for having me. Appreciate the opportunity to come and speak to y'all tonight. I've got 3 minutes, so I don't have very long, so I'm going to break it down pretty brief. Little bit about myself. I was born and raised here in New Albany. Went to New Albany Public School System, graduated from New Albany High School. From there, I went to University of Mississippi. Received a degree in business administration and marketing. Came back home, married to my high school sweetheart, Emily. Together we have 2 daughters, Edie Claire and Emma Kelly. I own the Windshield Doctor here in New Albany. Been a family business. My father started in 1982. We've been in business 43 years here in New Albany. Active member of First Baptist Church, where I serve as a deacon on the security team and on the preschool committee. I'm involved with a member of the New Albany Rotary Club, where I serve as president and on the board of directors. I currently serve on the UCDA board of directors. I'm running for re-election for Alderman for Ward 4, the city of New Albany. I've served since 2010. I have served as vice mayor since 2021. We've made many improvements and advancements during my time as alderman. A lot of them have been mentioned tonight. I'll run through some of them just to give you an update or an idea. The construction of the award-winning and nationally recognized tennis facility, soccer complex, Veterans Park. We installed a new well water system in my first term, which directly impacted Ward 4 residents. Many of you in here remember back prior to 2012, the water pressure due to the elevation there around the high school, Pfeiffer subdivision primarily, really low, poor water pressure. So the water tank, the one that has William Faulkner's face on it there by the post office, significantly impacted or directly impacted Ward 4 residents. The Tanglefoot Trailhead, the replacement of the train trestle across Main Street will help traffic flow of that low overhead bridge, and also it was kind of an eyesore. It had graffiti on it, just old metal bridge. It is preserved there at the museum. And then the Welcome Center that is right there at the library by the trailhead. We built a new police department, light, gas, and water administrative offices, a new municipal court building and offices. And we did this by repurposing buildings downtown. Revitalization, I'm a firm believer that revitalizing, repurposing buildings downtown is very important. We could have built a new building and let that old one sit there empty. Somebody might have rented it, put an office in it. But people like Joel Bennett that has invested in downtown, people like Braxton Elizabeth Coombs, we need that. That's why we have an important or have such a booming downtown that we have, is because of private citizens that invest in it, and your local businesses and a community that supports that. And we've been able to do that several times. But my time's up. I appreciate the opportunity. I'll close by just ask when you go to the polls next Tuesday to put your faith and trust in me so I can continue working. I'm dedicated, honest. I'm accessible. Most of the residents in Ward 4. Day to day in my business, I can probably handle more city business there than I do glass business, but people know they can find me there. So please put your faith and trust in me and vote for me, Will Tucker, Alderman, Ward 4. Thank you.
Well, thank you, ladies, for having us tonight. And I know it takes a lot of work to put this type of meeting on, and we just thank y'all so much. My name's Johnny Anderson. I served as alderman in Ward 4 Ward 2, for 24 years. I worked as a city employee for 11 years prior to that. So I've got 39 years in human resources as well. So I know how to deal with people. I've dealt with people most of my life, either through city government, through Parks and Recreation, which I was in prior to serving on the board of aldermen here. And it's just been a blessing and an honor to serve this great city of ours. I'm married to Beverly Anderson. She's here with us tonight. We've been married 50 years. I don't know how she's put up with me that long, but I appreciate it. I also have my daughter, Katie, and my grandson, Anderson, here with me tonight. We also have a son, Rob, two granddaughters, Riley and Zoe, and then Katie has a granddaughter at home, Catherine. So I just appreciate all of them, and I thank y'all for being here tonight. I think our greatest strength in New Albany is our location. We have an interstate highway that runs through here. I think that makes us really accessible as far as for growth. And we've seen that in the Toyota project and some of the guys that have served on the board with me for many, many years. Jim Owen being here tonight, he's one of the ones that sort of mentored me whenever I started on the board, and I appreciate him being here. But I think we're in a prime position to continue to grow in this New Albany area. I think our greatest challenge is our transportation infrastructure because we have grown so fast that we don't have the traffic control. I think there's a lot of opportunities for traffic control and traffic movement as we go into this next term. My goals and objectives, I've got 10 of those listed. I'm going to try to get through them before this. Economic and industrial development. I want to continue on that path where people want to come here, that they want to come here and live, work, shop, and play. But to
continue to keep New Albany sort of that unique small town that we all love. And that's one reason that we chose to settle here. I want to improve traffic flow by planning, by having a thoroughfare planning committee that really focuses on, that are experts in that field. And they can focus on how to make traffic move better around our city. A municipal webcam system is something that we see on TV a lot. I watch a lot of cop shows and stuff on TV, and that's something I'd like to work with our chief and our Union County Emergency Management Director to try to see if we could get that to make it our public safety and security a little bit better. Some of the people have mentioned the increased compensation package. Fire station number 3. The New Albany Arch, either at the downtown bridge or at Main and Carter Avenue. Indoor sports complex, which has been mentioned. Turf, the high school, baseball and softball fields. A city aquatic center and additional tennis courts. And then I'd love to see a large white cross somewhere on Interstate 22 like they have in South Tilla and over toward Boonville. I think that's something that just really is good for that community. But I want to say I have the education experience, I think, to, again, serve in this very important position. If I'm reelected, I promise to be responsible in my leadership, and I'll be a person who will listen to everybody that needs a voice in city government. And I want to close with this. It takes courage to run for public office. It's a decision I do not take lightly. I've probably worked harder at this than any other job I've ever had. I'm committed to the task at hand, and I thank you in advance for allowing me to serve in this very important position. May God bless you. May God bless New Albany, and may God continue to bless America. Thank you.
Mr. B. Conley.
Well, I don't know if you've ever spoken in front of a crowd before, but if you only get 3 minutes, that's a good thing. If you're nervous about speaking, it's a bad thing if you want to say a lot. So I would actually have left my family out of my speech tonight, but I can't do that since everybody else. I've been married to my wife for 37 years, Pam, and I love her dearly. She's been a supporter of me through my first 2 terms. Our kids, Lauren and Anna Brooke. Lauren lives here. Anna Brooke lives on the coast. And I can't leave out my new grandson that's going to be 2 years old, so I'm excited about that. Thank y'all very much for doing this, giving us this opportunity. And I want to thank y'all for coming. For you being here shows that you have a passion about New Albany. You care about what's going on. So you being here is a big deal to me personally, and I appreciate you being here. What I think about our strengths in New Albany, Johnny mentioned our location. I think our location is really, really an advantage for us. There's thousands of people that come through this town every day, and we need to continue to capitalize on that because that's something that you can't get. Pam and I lived in Amory for about 11 years, and Amory was a really nice town, but you had to be going to Amory if you were going to go, you had to be a mission to go there if you were going to go there. We've got people coming through here that are just coming through our town, and we need to take advantage of that. I think one thing we don't take advantage of is our A-rated hospital, our medical community. We've got a great hospital for a town our size, and we also have a great medical community. We need to continue to invest in that because I think that's something that will make our city stronger in the future. Our school systems in the city and the county, both A-rated school systems that are great for our community. And we as a city need to continue to work with them to try to make things better for our kids so they will be here and come back here. The safety of our community. Our first responders do a great job of keeping us safe and being there in our time of need, and we need to continue to invest in them. We're very fortunate if you look and think about our history with crime and what we've done with our fire department. I mean, those kind of things, we're very fortunate to have that, and we need to appreciate that. Our city employees do a really good job, especially the department heads that lead those city employees. We have when you talk about our department heads, when you talk about Bill Maddox, you talk about Chris Robertson, you talk about Chase, you talk about Johnny Payton, and I'm leaving somebody else, Mark's here. All those people that are department heads and the city employees are so valuable to us. And then, of course, our people. I think one of our biggest challenges, especially as a board, our biggest challenge is creating revenue for our city without taxing our citizens. We've got to figure out a way to continue to get grants, to capitalize on our people that are in Jackson getting money for us as well. And I'm gonna run out of time. I'm getting, oh gosh, already. What I would like to say is that executing our paving plan is very, very important. We hadn't done a really good job of that at times. The last 2 years we have. We've already got a plan for 25 to do more. We've got to continue to invest in our shopping district. Downtown New Albany brings so many people to our community, and we've got to invest in that. B&A Park, we acquired some extra property out there. We've got to invest in that and continue to grow that, because when we first built that, when Mr. Johnson and the board did that at the time, there wasn't as many competitors around. Now there's a lot more competitors, so we got to continue to invest in that. I never would have dreamed Tanglefoot Trail would bring as many people to us as it has. We've got to invest in that. And then the upcoming park along the river is very important. And I'll just sum it up with saying we've got a lot of projects going on with light, gas, and water. Bill Maddox has done a fantastic job, and we need to invest in all of those different projects. And we'll just humbly ask you that on April the 1st, if you would go to the community center and vote for me for a third term as your Alderman at large, I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope you have a great evening. Thank you.
One more speaker we have is not last at all, but not the least, but last, we have Chief Robertson. If he'll come forward and just give us a few words. He's running unopposed, but I ask him to please share a moment.
Well, thank you, Mr. Matt, and I appreciate you inviting me to talk, and I appreciate all the work y'all have done. First thing I'll tell you is, most of y'all know, it's not easy to get up here and speak to people. It's not easy to get up here and put yourself out there, want to serve, and then have people form opinions about this, that, or the other. It's not easy to do that. So I applaud all of y'all for doing it. I appreciate it. So, we're always told in the first board meeting, you got to be brief and entertaining. So I don't know how entertaining, but I will be brief. I'm about as cliche as cornbread in the South when it comes to who I am. Born and raised in this community, married my high school sweetheart, Nick. We basically graduated Ole Miss. She came back to teach, and I've been policing ever since. I was in junior college and high school. I was a volunteer fireman. I spent my entire adult life serving this community, and I'm continually proud to do that every day because the community makes me proud to be able to do it. Success in my job comes from support from the community. If I do not have support from the community, you fail, as simple as that. We've always had that, and I'm very thankful for that. I continue to appreciate the people of New Albany trusting me and allowing me to lead the police department, be there to serve the community. That's true, that's all of it. What I will report is this. For our size town, we have one of the lowest crime rates in the state of Mississippi. I've served this to be the 8th year on the executive board for the Chief Association in one role or another. And I can tell you when I talk to chiefs all over the rest of the state, we're in a thriving community, we're in a growing community, and there's a lot of people that have made that happen and continue to make that happen. So we have, when you look around, talking to different folks in different places, there's a lot of people talking about New Albany. And we want to continue to make sure that they continue to talk about New Albany. And I appreciate everyone that's willing to take their time away from their own families and be willing to be a servant for the city of New Albany and continue either wanting to be a servant or continue to be a servant. So thank you. And once again, a lot of times I look over daily sometimes, to roll out in the morning. I said, you know what? I woke up, she's still here. And I think I look at her at other times and I think she's wondering why she's still here sometimes. Now, it's been a secret to my success along with my daughters. And I appreciate everyone that supported me. And I thank you for allowing me to continue in this role. Thank you.
Now we're going to take this time to have some questions and answers. So anybody can question, those candidates that have spoken, and we'll give them time to answer. Do we have anyone who'd like to start off? Any questions? I can take this off and walk and find you if you'd like to, or you can come up here. Anyone? No questions? Yes. Would you like to come forward?
No, I was thinking.
Okay.
We've heard so many wonderful things tonight about we talked a lot about our downtown area. It's wonderful. In my job, I sell real estate, so I'm over a lot of I know our downtown area is wonderful. However, I think it's time that we address our Highway 30 West area. If you live on that side of town, you would have to say that the traffic, it used to be, it was busy on Friday. Now it's busy. I sat in traffic the other day about minutes. What crossed my mind was, if we had an emergency, could we get that person? Could a first responder even get to that person? I would like to hear someone say something about, is there any plan? I know that you have to work with Mississippi Department of Transportation, work with the highway. So I understand that, but I think it's time that we address what was supposed to be temporary life 20 years ago.
Okay, do we have Reggie?
Well, I agree 100%, and I promise you, we've been begging for 10 or 12 or 15 years or more. They have a plan. It's 2 teardrops around the interstate, or on top of the interstate, and that intersection that you're talking about, 30 started, is one of their main concerns. And I had the district engineer tell me, he said, I know this problem is probably our third worst problem in North Mississippi, but we simply don't have the money for it. So that's where we've got to work with them. And, I don't know if the people in this city would be willing to increase taxes to pay for that. And they promise me they're going to move us up, but it's been worked on, and it's been worked on many times. I plan my office what it's going to do, but it's just not getting done. MDOT says they get the same tax dollars that they did 10 years ago, and so they don't have the money themselves. So I guess the answer to that would be we can call some of our representatives in Jackson and see if they will increase MDOT's budget so they can fix that. Because they know it's a problem and they agree.
Would anyone else like to respond to that? Mr. Grant? I don't know if that sounds
Early on, that was one of the things that I had put in my goals and objectives was I just put roundabouts, and I'm getting comments both ways. People that aren't used to them are opposed to it. They just don't know how to drive in those. But at least the traffic keeps moving. I'm not sure roundabouts is the most viable option. But Ms. Tanya, the Stevens property is about to build 160 plus houses, which is going to even add more traffic to Highway 30, either Munster Drive, Glendale Road, or Highway 30 off Oxford Loop. So it is something that we're going to have to figure out, and I'll do everything that I can to try to make that happen. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
All right, I'm not talking because Johnny talked. I'm talking because Tim said that Tim said third. I thought it was fourth project. Me and Tim were probably in that same meeting that we sit down with people with MDOT and they were telling us about the project. And they told us then, you're number 4 on the list to get done. Well, or third, whichever one of us heard right. But anyway, so later on, about, I guess it was probably a month or maybe 6 weeks later, I personally sit down with the highway commissioner in a meeting and I asked him about the project. And he looked at me and grinned. He said, there's no list. What are you talking about, a list? So Tanya, every time I go out there, I agree with you. It's a mess. And we did fix with some extra lanes and some movement and all that. It is a major project that has to be done. But to Tim's point, I think the fact of the matter is we need to get people at the state level involved. Because again, when I sit down with the highway commissioner, he was like, we want to fix it, but it was all about the dollars and the list that we thought we were high up on. He told me there wasn't a list. So,
Do we have another question to address to either the alderman or the mayor? Everybody's being very quiet. Would anyone like to say anything else or sing? Almost a sing. Yes. Go ahead.
I heard one of the mayoral candidates mention the fact of looking at regulation in New Orleans. Can the mayor candidates explain what they mean by restrictions in New Albany? I know they say we're the lightest ones in New Albany. That's bull. When you have contractors that will not come here, refuse to come back, refuse to work in New Albany, there's some issues there somewhere. How would we look at regulations that are in the codes of New Albany?
Okay, looking at regulations and restrictions in the code for New Albany. Who would like to address that?
Well, all I know is we've got ordinances that's passed by the board of Alderman over the last, since I've been there, 20 years or more. And, that's what we follow. That's what our building inspector follows. So if you want those codes, or as you call them, or ordinances changed, it has to be the board of Alderman to change them and lessen them. And, but whoever told you, you probably build one here easy as you can anywhere else. I'd like to see, I've heard Oxford not as hard, but that's bull as you call it too. So anyway, the only way to get the change is we have to lower the standards. And, if that's what the people want, our board may do it.
Thank you. PJ? Jeff, would you want to, anyone? Okay. Did you get what you needed, Mr. Terry?
what do you want?
Would you like to ask it another way? Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Anybody? I don't want to be the auctioneer and say going once, going twice, but that was supposed to be funny. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Again, I thank each one of you for being here, all the candidates, because it's tough getting up here and speaking in front of everybody. No matter how many times you've done it, it's always hard. I'm nervous about it, and I'm nervous for them as they spoke, but I thank each one of you for being here. We are about to dismiss, and I will ask for the Union County Republican Women, if you will stay here for a short meeting. Those who are not members of the meeting, guess what? You're welcome to stay and join us. We would love to have that. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Nancy.
All the candidates, please come up front afterwards so we can get a group picture.
Photo op. Let's go. Thank you.